Tip Today, in association with Slattery's of Pecan, your main Peugeot dealer for over 50 years in the Premier County. Slattery'sGarage.ie.
Good morning, welcome along to Tip Today. 1800 938 007, our free phone number. It won't cost you to make a call, and Leanne is producing today. Coming up on the show this morning, Johnny Luby with me live in studio, and we'll have a chat in just a few moments' time. Why are teachers experiencing burnout? Well, we'll hear from former teacher and counsellor John O'Heaney on that. We recently took a trip to Joe Noble's home in Templemore, and we had a great old chat all together. We'll bring you that just after 10 o'clock this morning. Preparations underway for the Clonmel Christmas Fair. We'll chat to some of the TY students involved, and our Friday panel will unpack the hot topics of the week. So all of that and more on the way. We have another €50 voucher to give away, by the way, from Mr. Menswear, located on Friar Street in Cashel and Abbey Street in Cairn. We'll tell you how you can win that in just a little while. You can text and WhatsApp 083 311 3311. You can email tiptoday@tipfm.com. Let's have a look at the front pages, the Irish Daily Mail. The lead story there: memorials to crash victims on the side of many roads will be banned under new powers from the government. Roadside tributes will not be allowed on motorways, dual carriageways, regional or local roads where the speed limit is above 60k. I'm sure a lot of people will be very concerned and annoyed by that. The Irish Times, and they're leading with the story that the state agency responsible for running air traffic control in the Republic was not informed of the presence of drones on the approach to Dublin Airport on the night the Ukrainian president landed in Ireland. Also on the Times today, Gardaí investigating the deaths of Dublin boy Daniel Arubos, whose remains were found buried in a field near Donabate in North Dublin in September, have begun a homicide inquiry. And also, very concerning indeed, the state agency tasked with identifying illicit drugs has sounded a warning over the rising threat of synthetic opioids. The Irish Independent leading with the story that Ireland is on course for Christmas Day to be ruined for many families as the flu surges, and it may not peak in fact until early in the new year. And finally, a look at the front page of the Examiner today, and they're leading with Liz Dunphy's story that 7 men who pleaded guilty to conspiracy in a foiled drug trafficking plot involving a modified narco boat in West Cork have been sentenced to a combined 70 years in prison. Also reading on the Examiner today that boosting productivity across Irish-owned firms could help rebalance the economy and offset external risks that could have significant repercussions. That's according to the ERSI. And finally, on the Examiner today, it would be a serious breach of trust if Fianna Fáil TDs and senators were asked to vote for Jim Gavin, while senior members of the party had been told he had issues, in fact, with a tenant. A senior party figure has said the Fianna Fáil MEP Billy Kelleher, beaten of course in a vote for the party's nomination to run in the presidential election, said it would be deeply worrying if senior party figures did not disclose they were aware of Jim Gavin's issue with a tenant in advance of the vote on the presidential candidate. That's a look at what's making headlines. Do you want to comment on any of that? And if you do, 083 311 3311. Johnny Luby is with me. Morning, Johnny.
Morning, Fran. I don't know, is it me as crooked in the chair, or is it this microphone in front of me? I don't know, but anyway.
Well, it's picking you up great anyway, so there you go. Do you want to comment on any of that?
No, all that thing is above my head. I genuinely thought that we'd see no more about that presidential thing. 'Tis over and done with, and 'tis an absolute scandal the way that was all handled from day one.
Do you think? Yeah.
Jim Gavin, mother of God, they only parachuted him in there. Like Billy Kelleher and your man below in Kerry there. Sean Kelly. I mean, like, you know, Sean Kelly, great guy.
Yeah.
You know, well known. And Ireland is a GA country, really, and well known throughout the land. No, that to parachute somebody in then from down from the north, whatever her name was, and her big claim to fame was that she drove a tractor and milked cows by hand.
Is Heather Humphreys?
Yeah. I mean, Mother of God above tonight. Look, anyway,
all right. Well, we're still awaiting that report from Fianna Fáil on the whole debacle. So
that'll cost a fortune as usual.
You got the Harty Cup book. You were mentioned in dispatches the other day when we were talking about this, and you were at the launch in the Horse and Jockey.
That's right, Jeff. And there was a fine crowd there, and to me, because I have a huge interest in the game of hurling, it's a tremendous book to read through, like from 1918 up to 2025. And you see the likes of Rockwell College there doing, was it 3 or 4 in a row back in the 1930s, and we had a man there from Golden, Willie O'Donnell, who was a teacher afterwards in Anacarty.
In Anacarty, the master, as they used to call him.
That's right, and he was on the Anacarty team that won the county final, dare I say, against Mycarkey in 1943. So even though he was a golden man, he had transferred over to Anacarty and he won a couple of All-Irelands and he refereed a couple of All-Irelands. That was back in the day. But he was part and parcel of that. And then I suppose browsing through the whole thing, it is a tremendous read and some amount of work has went into it.
And you're in it yourself?
Well, yeah, Father Christy Dwyer was on the Abbey CBS team in 1959 when they won the Harty Cup. He was cornerback, a wonderful hardy guy, needless to say. We would be related, really. I think my dad and his mum were probably first or second cousins. One day we were playing the Tracys, and Mother of God above tonight, he pulled on the first ball, and I said it was only about leaving the opposition's hurley from way up the field, and he was pulling. And I said to him, obviously, I said, cousins don't matter here. But a fine now scout, and he had great memories. And then they had Sean O'Halpine and a couple of lads on from Limerick and Clare there as well. And it was all reminiscing back about the Harty Cup and what it means. It is the blue ribbon of Irish colleges hurling. Regretfully in Leinster they cannot play in the Munster Harty Cup. When we were beaten in the final in 73, of course I really, it was brilliant to play in Harty Cup. It's an honour to play in the Harty Cup, and like to be captain of Cashel CBS. They'd only 120 odd in the whole school, and we had to go down to maybe third year for a player, and that was Per Fitzell, and what a good one he was.
Wow.
And then we had John Grogan. He was part and parcel. He won Cork County things, and that Tommy would have been honoured, they tell me, only that he had an interest in a girl. And
I think I know that girl, actually.
And the Christian brother Malone, unless he dropped her, but he didn't. He held on to her. And but Tommy was a fine hurler, and I thought should have been at least on the panel. That's only my opinion. But we had Jerome White and those guys. Like we'd a fine bloody team, you know.
Great characters too, all of them.
Oh, great characters. Yeah, Mo Murphy in goal, you know.
Stop, yeah.
And that. Top class guy, and that, but like Tom Slattery was on it afterwards. He was principal out in Grange National School there.
Great family.
That's right,
the
Mulligans, and you had Christy Ryan, Mickey Burden, Zoko we used to call him.
Mickey
Zoko.
from up near the rock there.
That's right. His father was
Gussie.
No, I think Mickey Burden again, was he? He was a councillor.
He was a Labour councillor.
John, was it?
No. Oh, God, my head is absolutely.
Somebody will text him. But
yes, please. 083 311 3311. Yeah.
But Mickey was a smashing hurler. Then we had John Gleeson afterwards. He was teaching then in the Cashel Community School. Johnny Gleeson.
Yes.
And that he was playing corner forward, and Bernie Ryan from goal. They had a fine team. But anyway, I can say now we were beaten 5-14 to 2-5, which was the father and mother of a hiding, I thought. But the following year, Vernon Ferris beat Limerick CBS 10 goals and 11 points to 2-2.
Wow. And
in the 2 years before that, they won 4-12 to 2-4 and 6-11 to 2-7. So we weren't too bad.
So your score was what?
5-14 to 2-5.
5-14 to 2-5.
You know, but like the following year, 10-10. Mother of God above tonight, but they had a...
You're just trying to put a good gloss now on you.
I'm trying to console myself. That, you know...
So the book is available, it's out there now.
It is, and there was a fine crowd there, as I said, at it, and that some research has went into it. The semi-finals are covered that, and Temple Moore's first one, I think it was in 1979 with Bobby Ryan and Martin Burke and all the lads involved, and then you had Nina CBS winning it there a couple of years years ago, and then you had the big game between Cashel Community School and Tullis CBS, which brought a record crowd to Semple Stadium in Tullis for that final, which Cashel won. And then, of course, you had Tullis CBS last year winning the Harty Cup and then going on to win the Irish
And you see, I understood over the years it was only a Christian Brothers school competition, but it wasn't. It was broader than that.
Oh, broader than that, you see. Like we'll say, Rockwell College outside, and that you had every kind of a team that was good enough.
Secondary
if they thought
schools,
they were good enough to go into it, and looked, it was brilliant. Like John Maloney, the Lord of Muslim, refereed 8 Harty Cup finals. Georgie Ryan from Lettencullen refereed 4 or 5 All-Ireland or Munster Harty Cup finals, and it was brilliant for them because the occasion was unbelievable to hear the chanting on the sideline and all that goes on with the colleges,
Isn't it great? Yeah, so you'd recommend the book?
Oh, I certainly would. Look for anybody there with the thing, and when I look at the photos there of the Cashel Community team that won the final, on the panel, I will say give or take of maybe 35 or 40 players, there was 12 of them from Golden Kilfeacle, and on account of that, in my book, it's the reason that Golden Kilfeacle are successful at the moment. And that is it.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's the genesis of it all. All right then. What about Golden Kilfeacle then and the under-21?
That's right, Jeff, and a magnificent victory because Arraville had beaten them in the round robin, and they had beaten Cashel, and Golden had drawn with Cashel, I think, and Clonoulty were the team of 4, but they weren't at the races in this particular competition. I suppose Arraville were favourites on Sunday last, but it lashed rain below and Bench, and fair play to the boys involved with Bench, and they were well prepared for the game and that, and there was a good crowd there, a fine crowd there from Arraville Rovers. They would be disappointed. I honestly believe on the outside looking in they didn't turn up on the day because they're a better team than that. And Golden now march forward to a county semi-final. Golden Kilfeacle march forward to a county semi-final where they'll take on the winners of this Sunday's game between Tullis Sarsfields and Holy Cross. Holy Cross are going for 4 or 5 in a row. Their best player is a Michael Ryan or Jim Ryan. He's out with a cruciate, and that centre back top class player, and that they probably have another injury or 2. So the Sarsfields are going to be dangerous. Borlahan and Mike Carkey were there in the semi-finals and both broke great performances, so it serves well for the future of the game. I think the North finals could be on this weekend as well. The South, I think, are gone through. So look, it's all to play for. Golden Kilfeacle would be getting the tough end of the straw with the mid winners, but look, so be it. I think they have, I hate boasting about it, but I think in total,
you don't.
I think I could tell clubs outside what it's like. I think in total they have around 10 cups won this year.
Wow.
And that from league things and all of that. So fair play to them.
But you hate boasting about it.
Look.
And the under-21 finals, is that this weekend as well?
What will I see now? The under-21 mid-final that I spoke about there is on this week, and with Holy Cross and Tullis Sarsfields, and I think that's on in the rag at the moment. Pitches availability is a huge thing as well, Fran.
Right, and did you want to mention Upperchurch, your favourite place?
Oh, my favourite place,
Golden,
outside of Golden. I've taken a huge graph for it. They're playing Danesfort off Kilkenny, and they have Richie Hogan back in the saddle again. He won 3 or 4 All-Irelands. He was retired. He came back into training, and now he's back on the team, and he was part of the Danesfort team that won last week, and they'll be very strong with Paul Murphy and that. But by a strange coincidence, there's 4 teams left. Danesfort, the North the Kilkenny champions, then you have the North champions, then you have Tipperary champions, Upperchurch, and then you have some team from Connacht, whatever team is there from Connacht. But 3 of the teams have the very same coloured jerseys. So the first.
So what happens in that case? Huh?
Well, Upperchurch and Danesfort, they won the toss, retained their home jersey.
Right.
So Upperchurch have won the toss. That's the easiest part of it. They now have to win the bloody match. That's on in Portlaoise on Sunday week at 2 o'clock against Danesfort. Danesfort will have to wear all black or all red and white or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And look, I suppose that's the way that they do it. But Conor Fahey, I forgot to mention him last week, and in so far as that he got the man of the match in the Munster final. A tremendous honour for him. But he was the first to say it himself that he wouldn't have won it without his teammates and panel of players and selectors and sponsors and the whole lot that got him there. So fair play to Conor Fahey on getting the man of the match, and hopefully hopefully it all goes well for him. It's a big week for him, Fran, trying to train on wet nights and every bloody thing else and that. But look, they'll have a huge crowd there as well, because you know the way the people from the mountains, they do come
they
out.
Support.
They come
support.
out of the caves and support
for sure.
them, and that's it.
What about the rugby? What's been happening, Johnny?
Yeah, Fran, in the rugby they made the World Cup draw and Ireland got a tremendous draw. Like, I mean, they're playing Portugal. Mother of God above tonight. I was outside in Portugal there for 3 or 4 times last year talking about rugby, and they didn't even know what it was out there. Now, the second team, Ireland, they played Portugal in a challenge game and they beat them 108 points to nil.
Oh, stop.
So now what will the first
second team?
That was Ireland's second team. It was out on with Paul O'Connell and them in charge.
Yeah.
But there's some other crowd there as well. They won't be at the races. They'll probably, Scotland are probably the only ones that might hopefully maybe give them a game. Then Ireland are in a World Cup quarter-final, which they have never gone past before. This time around, more than likely they'll be meeting Argentina. Argentina beat them there 7 or 8 years ago in a World Cup quarter-final. So, look, it's all to play for, and they got a great draw.
And Leinster and Ulster?
Leinster and Ulster had 2 wins last weekend, and Connacht got beaten after leading 21-0. They thrown away the game. Munster, I'm very disappointed with him against Bet, although I thought JJ Hanrahan, who went to school in Rockwell College outside and done his 4 or 5 years there, I thought he had a fine game at out half, considering he was drafted in at the last couple of minutes. So it is, and of course locally Cashel were beating a pint above in Connacht. Hard luck to them, and Nina still haven't found their feet above in the north in that 1A division. Clonmel had a good win against I think it was Middleton or Bruff, and they're top of the league. But I suppose, Fran, the likes of Nina and them and Cashel, when you're playing teams that can bring back players who are academy players. So if you're an academy player, you're a young fella gone into the academy, they want to give you a bit of experience about rugby games and that. So they're actually on pay. Some kind of pay. Yeah. So is it right that a paid players on the same field as amateurs? I don't know.
Answer your own question. Is it fair?
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I asked him, I went down myself to a Munster branch meeting and asked him, they said, where did that happen? Well, I said, Gerard at the time was playing with Bruff. I said, Bruff played some other crowd, mentioned the name, and I said, young man, I said, paid international. Oh, but he was injured coming back. But I said, he's still paid. He got paid when he was out sick, I said. Now he's getting paid to play rugby. I said, it's not right. But anyway, I got no hearing.
All right, I'm hearing that the county final under 21A is on this Sunday, and the best luck to Silvermines.
That's probably the B hurling final that's on. But Silvermines
under 21A, yeah.
Oh, well, going on to under 21A, we won't be out.
Okay.
We won't be out for at least a fortnight.
We'll say. Okay. Well, we'll double check that.
And Silvermines, mentioning them, they won the county junior B. They beat Tulla Sarsfield, Lark Corbett's team. Lark was back playing again. So
wow, fair play. And of course, you've Munster and Gloucester.
That's on tomorrow evening in Parky. Super Value is
Parky Queeve,
Super Value at Parky Queeve. It's a sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
and the local rugby choir is appearing at it tomorrow.
That's right, and sympathies to Tony Lowry and his brother Edmund and Tig Murphy, who last weekend went to Bet to watch Munster getting the father and mother were hiding, and Dad texts the father at half time. He says, for God's sake, Dad, he says, will you go to the nearest pub?
I love it. You wanted to mention Ray Burke as well, didn't you?
That's right, yeah. Ray Burke there, a young fella from Clara and Clonmel, is involved at Gonzaga College in Dublin. They're a big rugby school, and was involved with him when they won the Leinster Junior League yesterday for the first time, the final of it in 21 years. So they'll be a team to watch. Any of the teams that win the leagues, they'll always be feared in the championship, and the best of luck to Ray and all the lads up there in that particular school.
Right. Horse racing
tomorrow week in Tullis.
Yeah.
It's the only race meeting in Ireland on this. That's tomorrow week now, Saturday the 20th, and there's no racing then until Stevens' Day and the 2 or 3 days afterwards between Leopardstown and Limerick. They're the meetings that are on then. But Tullis is the place to go to on Saturday week. Get your ticket online or offline, and get your ticket some way and get in there, because they have tremendous facilities. It'll be a wonderful atmosphere and the crack and everything else, and you can look out at the Devil's Bit and see as Santa Claus, is he on the way from the Devil's Bit? So it's a great place to go to.
Absolutely brilliant. Did you pick up a cheque from the raceway in Rosemary?
That's right, Jeff, and I went there last Saturday evening there around 4 o'clock, and I met the lads there from that run a great competition there every 4 or 5, 6 times a year there in the raceway in Rose Green, and they had texted you in last Friday above in Nina to say that there was €500 for my favourite charity, and of course that was Skull Cormac in Cashel. I collected it and delivered it yesterday, and they were absolutely thrilled. I told them just send on a receipt or whatever, and the usual.
That's great, isn't it? Well, fair play to them, and God bless their generosity and all of that. Now, our mutual friend, the great Albert Purcell, was on to us. Will you mention what's happening there?
Friend. They had a huge day up there as well. They've been doing it for a long number of years. The Nina Lights Sunday, the Christmas tractors in Nina hosted by the agricultural contractors. They've raised over 200,000 in 7 years. It's absolutely brilliant. This year it's Billy Golding and the Nina Daycare Centre who are who will benefit from this tractor run. It's one of the biggest around. It always makes the RTE news, and you have the Disney characters, you have the free Polar Express train, which I was on there, was it last year? I had the conductor's hat on me on the back, and I did say to Albert Purcell, hey, I said, I bloody if somebody wants to go, he said it's free, so I said free travel the whole lot, so I said, look,
that's fantastic.
Fair play to them. And,
if you can't make it long and if people want to donate, there's an iDonate.ie. If you go onto that there, you'll see the tractor run.
And they have tractor hats and jackets for sale in the tractor shop on Pier Street. They have festive fun fair all starting around 1 o'clock, so hopefully I see Eamon Gaynor, that is getting his he's a brother-in-law now of Liam Cahill's.
Yes.
He's getting his tractor ready. Friend, they give maybe 3 solid days.
Oh my God, the work they put into
unbelievable, but anyway, fair play to them. Look, and it is brilliant. And then of course after the raceway on last Saturday evening, I went to Care to say thanks to the Duala ploughing lads, the way that they got the tractor run ready. The biggest ever. Matty McGrath was there and said it was the biggest he has seen, with lorries, cars, tractors and the whole lot. And I just wanted to say a sincere thanks to all the lads for raising funds again for Skull Cormac, but to say a special thanks to the helpers who are there in their visibility jackets and the whole lot, and a big thanks to the Gardaí who organised it perfect. They drove from the Mart back up the road, back up the old Cork Road and in by the town above, and hooters going and youngsters there with stars in their eyes watching it. Frank, was unbelievable.
That's brilliant.
You know,
will you say hello to Raymond O'Sullivan, because this is a text that Andrew got in earlier on. Raymond is from Mullinahone, long time listener to the show, but a big fan of yours. And it said here, if Johnny said Happy Christmas, it would make his day, or indeed his year.
Yeah, so. Well, I'll tell you, Raymond, a very happy Christmas to yourself and health for the new year that's to come, 2026. I'll keep this note here, because when I do get down to Mullinahone, I mean, Mullinahone was the first place, friend, when COVID was lifted, that a fella could go. When I said to the driver, we'll hit for Mullinahone. I think McInerney's have the pub down there. It's a wonderful setup. But that's,
isn't it? Yeah.
But of course, then we got lost coming into, is he a councillor, Fitzgerald? Into the thatch.
Into the thatch, yeah, of course he is.
And then we got locked right. Well, I did. The driver kept going. But in Burke's in Feddart and then on to Danzy's in Rose Green. But mentioning Burke's in Feddart, the ladies' football in Feddart, they have...
Split the pot.
Yeah. That's right, Jeff. And on Sunday evening at 9:30, it is in Burke's, where normally the 50-50 goes to the, we'll just say in this particular instance, will go to the Feddart ladies, and if I won it, then the other 50% goes to myself. In this particular instance, it will go to whoever's name comes out of the hat, but the other 50% is going to the Dylan Quirk Foundation, which is an absolutely fantastic gesture from them. They also have a raffle of a Tipperary jersey, which goes on again, and tickets are €2 each and 3 for a fiver and all.
I know you want to pass on condolences to a wonderful Cashel family.
That's right, Jeff, and to the Carey family on the death of Jerry, who was living in Tiptown but was one of the members of one of the oldest families that I have known around. You had Monto Carey, Albert Carey, Dan, and that, and Albert was a great... Albert himself, I met Albert at the funeral, and of course Michael Murphy, they're all first cousins and that, but Albert the brother, and I shook hands with Albert, and that we went back reminiscing, and Albert is a great man to do poetry and all that thing.
Yeah.
And he does the train leaving Goals Cross. Now this is going back 50 bloody years, and when I was sympathising with him, I just said to him, did the train leave Goals Cross? Well, he got a fish left, and of course then Cashel do support their own well, so I met Seamus Foley and Paddy Cahill.
Oh, God almighty.
They told me...
All the lads were out in force.
Oh, they were out in force, but of course they called in to support their own Mr. Trevor in Sir Olds in Thomastown, you know. But if you'll pardon my use of the English language, I just said to Foley, Fowley they call it really in Cashel. Did you know Frank Curry? The greatest scorer, he said, of all times.
And very accurate.
And didn't spare the truth. But of course, the Borlehan Duella have their big draw in January, where tickets €20 each, 3 for 50. They're selling like hot buns. I met Lacey the other day, and of course I'd throw in the 50. He wouldn't take 20.
He wouldn't take
no, I was giving him a check. He wouldn't take that either. But I did say, when I come out. No, he said, if you come out. I said, in this particular instance, when I come out, I said, I need the cash. You can forget about the car. So anyway, he said he'd arrange that.
Well, I'm still waiting to come out in the GAA draw, but don't mention the war. But tell Johnny that the Silver Mines won the County Junior B last Sunday against Thurles, and also playing Bursley in the Under-21 North final next Sunday. Oh, yeah, I knew. And that's it from Morris.
Yeah, I knew it was that they were still in the divisional end of the business, and look, the best of luck to them all. But Fran, look, there's a big heading there, and they're looking for referees, and that on the pitches. Would you, even at this stage of your career, would you referee a match?
I wouldn't for all the money in China.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you now, Paddy Russell, one of the greats. Paddy Russell refereed me, and I'm 71.
Right.
He refereed my son-in-law, Michael Heffernan, above, and he's 40-something, 4 or 5, I suppose. And now he's refereeing the grandson, and
Isn't
17.
Amazing?
And he was taking his name the other day. Paddy was. He was taking Jack Heffernan's name, and he said to Jack, "What's your name?" And Jack said, "Jack Heffernan." He said, "You know my granddad." "Who's your granddad?" says Paddy. He said, "Johnny Luby." Now he said, "I will." That's enough. He said he didn't even give him the card, so it pays to have pull. But there's a rule that I can't understand in even in the football game. I remember when we were playing Rockwell Rovers and Billy Smith would be tearing and dragging out of you and the whole bloody lot, and nobody would be after seeing it, you know. And the next thing is to be a free against me. Now you're supposed to hand the ball back. Hand it back. And look what happened last Sunday in Thurles when he didn't hand it back in the Munster Club senior final with Dang and Dingle against St Finbarrs of Cork. He didn't hand back the ball, and the referee brought the ball up for 50 yards.
Because he didn't.
Because he didn't hand it back. Now, 'tis going to be a real feminine game.
Stop now. Don't start a row. You see, you're going to start a row, you're going to stir trouble, and you're going to walk out the door and leave me deal with it all.
No. I'm saying that in the gentlest terms.
That's what's worrying me about it.
It's an absolute scandal that you have to hand back the ball.
Yes. Well, that's gentlemanly and polite.
Oh, but friendly. And this thing of going around shaking hands with him before the match, and once the match starts off, then they'll bait the bloody loud out.
Father Christie wouldn't have been into that, would he?
Oh, jeez, I couldn't. No, he wouldn't hand back the ball, I'll tell you.
Johnny is welcome to come to Kennedy's of Rear Cross on Sunday to meet Santa and the local characters for some fun and crack. And that's in from John. You're in big demand this Sunday. You'll have to make some choices.
Oh, Christ above, friend. Yeah, Nina, I suppose you'll have to see. But, you know... I was knocking a fella one time, Mother of God above tonight, you know, and like what goes on in matches, friend, as you didn't play a huge amount of the thing,
I didn't play any of it.
Yeah, well, what goes on in matches, you see, like you just wish a fella the best of luck.
You would in your...
Oh, well, I'll tell you now, you would. But anyway, this fella said, what did he say? Oh, this is back for 50 years ago.
Yeah.
He said, I was with your girlfriend last night, he said.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. He said, she's not great.
Oh, Lord.
I said, well, and you know what she said?
What?
I said, useless you were. and useless you'll be today, I says, when I'm finished to you. Fran, he was taken off after 10 minutes. So look at these ways. What goes on, Fran? You know,
sure, I can only imagine. I have picture proof, it says here, that Johnny Luby left a pint behind him in Sir Rowlands. That comes in from James Lawrence. He said,
that's right, yeah. Come here. Just to finish, Johnny, when
we're dead late, Johnny.
I don't mind that, you. Will you wish Noel Brown, Haywood Heights, a happy birthday on Sunday from Richie, Esther and all his friends in Fennessy's Hotel in Clonmel? Thanks, Johnny. And that letter came to Johnny Luby, the Fippany Road. Anyway, hey, don't forget to give your postman a few bob. I gives him an extra few bob to stay away from the place. Anyway, friend, what is 34, right?
Great to see you, Johnny. Thanks very much indeed. The great Johnny Luby live with us this morning. We'll take a break, back in a moment.
Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, Hook On. Main Peugeot dealers in the Premier County. And now stocking the full range of the luxury French car brand DS Automobiles. Book your test drive today with Slattery's Garage, Hook On. See slatterysgarage.ie.